Welcome back to our special anniversary edition of Live from Paris on France 24. Dr. René Friedman is still with us. He is the doctor that pioneered the first French test tube baby. He's been commenting on the top stories for us. And now James Creedon is with us as well.
Yes,
with,
indeed. Not as an illustrious a career, I have to say.
A pioneer in websites. But anyway, let's start with Newsring.
Yes, indeed.
Where they debate all the top stories.
That's
a bit
right.
like what we do here, isn't it?
Very similar in a website form. So it's a new news website in France, newsring.fr, and it's as the French say, putting the accent on, or emphasising very much debate in news. I suppose it's what a lot of social media are trying to do today, to incorporate debating stories into the news, essentially, and including the consumer of news in news making.
Consumer journalism, isn't it?
Exactly. So the idea is a bit like Huffington Post, the UK version, has done a lot of that as well.
Journalism, I think
that's right, and allowing people to say, I'm in favour of this, or I'm against that, or this is my opinion, I belong, I feel a part of the news process. That's kind of the idea, I suppose. So you can see on the website here such topical issues as, does the future of France depend on Germany? What does the public think? They can kind of say yes, no, something in between, but usually they can't say something in between, which is a bit simplistic. Are you a fan
of these websites like Twitter and Facebook and that kind of thing?
Not enough. But I think that the most question I will say for that point is who is the agency who decide to give a AAA or not? That's a fundamental the crisis, economic crisis. I don't know. We don't know. So we look on the website, what they decide, but we don't know how they make the calculation.
Are you more likely to look on the website rather than turn on your television set, though, for example?
Both.
When you're not watching France 24?
Both.
I suppose sometimes the thing with these yes or no answers is they tend to simplify issues down to, just one or just two options. And often it's not a yes or no answer. It's something in between, or it's a much more nuanced situation than that. So, but that's, I suppose these websites have their role. Another question today, can Russia forego an authoritarian president? Because, of course, Putin and Dmitry Medvedev have been under a lot of pressure because of suspected vote rigging. Also, are you for or against Autolib? That's a new thing that's being brought in France.
Car that beeps.
That's
I'm against the beeping noise.
That's right. Or are you for or against animal rights? It gets a bit ridiculous after a while. They don't. That's not a real question.
Right,
I made that up. Anyway.
Now there's let's move. We're running out of time, so let's move on to our next, because I want to get to this. There is a very controversial debate going on in France among lawmakers about whether or not the clients of prostitutes should be punished.
That's right. Now this is a debate. A bill was examined in the French Parliament today. Danielle Bousquet is the MP behind this. She's a socialist MP, and the idea is to penalise clients who go to prostitutes as opposed to targeting the prostitute, him or herself. And so she says that there's still a lot of misconceptions about prostitution today. A lot of people seem to think, people do that because they want to do it. They're prostitutes because they want to be prostitutes. 80% of prostitutes, apparently, according to the statistics that the Parliament has, are of either African or Eastern European origin. They were trafficked, and they're doing it out of economic necessity. So the idea is to try to follow a Scandinavian precedent and to eliminate prostitution in society, to eliminate the need for prostitution, and to eliminate the desire for women to go into prostitution, or men indeed.
The customers rather than the service providers.
Yeah, by perhaps sanctioning the people who use prostitutes.
What do you think about that, Dr. Faber? This is a big health issue, isn't it?
Well, first of all, I don't think that women go to prostitution by choice. It is obligation, and the problem is more the exploitation of the woman. So the people who exploit the woman for prostitution must be condemned, and that is the most important thing for me, and that's the target. And the prostitutes, the women themselves, the people who go with prostitution, of course, but exploitation of the body of a woman must be condemned, and really condemned. Okay, and not tolerated like it is,
Right. Okay, well, I'm afraid we have run out of time. Sorry about that, James. I have to cut you short.
I have loads more stories, Laura, but I'll have to save them for tomorrow.
You'll have to save them for later, absolutely. James Creedon, thanks very much. I'll tell you off air. And Dr. René Friedman, it's been a great honour to have you with us. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
And giving us your take on all the top stories on this, our 5-year anniversary. All right, do stay tuned. We'll be back after the break with much more on this special anniversary edition here on Live from Paris.